Now that it's been a while since the event from Microsoft announcing all the new Surface devices, let's talk about what I think. What's going on, everybody? Kwaku here, back with another video. Earlier today, as of recording, we got a bunch of new Surface devices. We got Surface Slim Pen 2, we got the Surface Pro 8, finally. We got the Surface Duo 2, the successor to this here device right here, the Surface Duo. And then we also got I believe we got the Surface Laptop Studio. I always mess that up. The Surface Laptop Studio, which basically hybridizes the Surface Laptop as well as the Surface Studio, the $3,000 Surface Studio, into a laptop form factor with all the benefits of having a Surface Studio. So we got quite a few things talked about with this whole event. Obviously the big highlights were basically, at least for me, were the Surface Duo 2 as well as the Surface Laptop Studio. And the Surface Laptop Studio, I'll just tell you right now, in fact, before I even say Surface Laptop Studio, I'll say right now that all of the Surface devices that are computers, they were updated basically to the latest Intel 11 Gen. So the Surface Pro 8 was updated to 11 Gen. The Surface Laptop Studio is also 11 Gen. Now, there's no word on AMD at all for this stuff, and they also both do include Thunderbolt 4, which is amazing. The Surface Go 3 also came out. It was updated minorly, some newer specs and things like that. And then also we had the one that I was truly looking forward to, which was the Surface Duo 2, which is actually obviously, since it's 2, it is the successor to this here device here, the Surface Duo, if it will stay in frame right there. And that device is an interesting one. I could do a whole video on its own for that, so I'll quickly just jump into it while it's fresh in my head. For that device, the hinge, basically this hinge right here, my camera will not focus on me, let's see. Yep, this hinge right here, if you look at it, this is just a silver hinge, but on the new Surface Duo, it kind of, the inside hinge actually kind of runs through in the middle there, so that way you can see like an indicators and things like that when you touch the screen or touch the power button a little bit. You can see an indicator of battery charge and various information. You also have rear camera bump, and basically that was the most controversial thing in this event, was the rear camera bump in the new Surface Duo, because what people seem to have liked a lot with the original Surface Duo was when you open it up like this and you close it, other than having, you know, this case that kind of lifts it up a little bit and creates a little wedge, it's pretty flat. Like, this is flat, it'll sit flat perfectly. And when you close it up just like this, as long as you're not holding it this way, when you close it this way and you put it on the table, it will stay flat on the table. So that was one of the things that people was really controversial, because they added a camera bump, because they added triple camera sensor. So with that camera sensor, we got pretty much 12 megapixel, I think, primary shooter, 12 megapixel telephoto, and then 16 megapixel ultra wide. We got Surface Slim Pen 2 with haptic feedback. It looks similar to this one, and it looks like that's pretty much what they were pushing the whole time, is Surface Slim Pen 2 for all of the devices. And then we got just, you know, some newer specs. We got NFC built in, so you can finally do mobile payments, something that was the reason why I haven't put a SIM card in this device anymore, is because I couldn't do mobile payments, and I use mobile payments a lot, like a whole lot, and I don't like using my watch to do mobile payments. So we got NFC in it, no wireless charging on their website, but NFC. So there's bigger screens, the resolution is a little different. It's a little different aspect ratio. I think they said 13:9 versus the Surface Duo's 4:3 aspect ratio. So there's a whole lot there. You got Snapdragon 888, and then you also have 5G support because of that processor as well. There's just a bunch of things. They centered the USB port that is on the original Surface Duo. So now Surface Duo 2, the USB port is centered on the left side of the screen, or the right side of the screen. And then you got the SIM card at the bottom of the screen as well, of the other screen. So there's no longer on the side. Integrated power button and fingerprint sensor instead of having a separate fingerprint sensor. So that's basically, in a nutshell, all the differences between the Surface Duo and the Surface Duo 2. So for the Surface Laptop Studio, we have 11 Gen Intel processors. We also start off with 16 gigs of memory by default, going up to 32 of LPDDR4X memory. The processor specific is quad-core 11th gen Intel Core i5 H series chip, or if you go up to the quad-core Intel Core i7, you'll actually get the still H series chip, but you'll get a better graphics card built in. So by default, on the i5 you get Intel Xe graphics, but on the i7 you get NVIDIA GeForce 3050 Ti. So that's pretty solid for gaming. It's not too much memory in that. I think it's about 4 gigabytes of memory, but it's still solid for a laptop of that side, especially for creators, especially that's what it's for. But they did tout Xbox on it, that you can play your Xbox games with xCloud on it, so that's solid, and the graphics card should hold up for all that stuff. So you got that as well, and then it says you have integrated Surface Slim Pen 2. You also have compatible Surface Dial as well. So all that stuff is there. It has a hardware TPM 2.0 chip, obviously, because all of these computers that they're releasing support Windows 11 fully to the maximum. One thing that I will say before I even continue talking about these computers is going back to the Duo 2. I forgot to mention the Duo 2 does not have a power brick. So if you're one of those people who hates the trend of Apple took out the power brick, Samsung took out the power brick, and now all these manufacturers are following suit, Microsoft is also following suit and removing the power brick from the Duo 2's box. But going back with the Surface Laptop Studio, you got 3.83 pounds, or about 1,700 grams versus 1,800 grams. Then you got about 19 hours of battery life for the i5, and i7 is about 18 hours of battery life of typical device usage. I'm not sure what that even means. We'll have to find out when real people review it. And then you got removable solid state drive, because it is upgradable. You got up from 256 up to 2 terabytes. So 256, 512, 1 terabyte, and 2 terabyte. Just looking on the screen here, there are 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as Surface Connect port. They'll never go away from Surface Connect. And then Wi-Fi AX, and then whatever Xbox wireless is, that's built in as well. It says for the hinge, this is a very specific thing on their website. They have a hinge section on their tech specs, and it says here, dynamic woven hinge made of woven fabric, embedded cables that bend up to 180 degrees, because it folds flat, just like the original Surface Studio and all the Studio line of things. The Surface Book 3 did not get updated. We didn't get a new Surface Book. The Surface Go 3, I'm not really going into that because that barely got a change, just like the Surface Pro X, that barely got changed, even though they say it's new. There's not too much of a heavy change in there. I'll have to do some more digging for that. That event was an interesting one. Definitely, it was short. I like it. It was short, from 11 o'clock to, I believe, 11:45 a.m. Eastern here. That's how long it lasted, and they got to the point. It's a little cringy, and also they did some more accessibility options. They created, I think, accessibility stickers, kind of like Braille, when you feel like on a hospital, so that blind people can actually feel where they're going instead of touching things that all feel the same, because that's how they navigate. So they have that as well, those stickers for accessibility, which is really great. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anything to say about the Microsoft Surface event, leave it in the comment section below. I'll be taking a look at the comment section throughout the day as usual. Even if I don't respond, leave it anyway, because I read through most of them and kind of pick out the ones that look very response worthy, I guess is what you want to call it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this whole event. And also, again, I always say it, if you're an app developer, for whether it's Android or whether for Windows 11 or Windows in general, you can drop me an email, nextgenwindows@gmail.com. I'd love to take a look at your app and do a app review / critique on it. So all that stuff, let me know, and I'll catch you guys later.